finally have a comedian on, guys. Marcus Monroe. Give it up. You go onto the subway and you go dressed up as something, whether it be like, you know, cheese, whether it be like a boxer, whatever face is. Has anybody ever like just come up to you, like a crackhead come up to you?
For the first year and a half, no issues at all. Then like lately, within like the last like 6 months, it's been hell. I'm banned on Delta. Why? Well, put me on the no-fly list. I made a TikTok during the pandemic of me grilling a steak in their bathroom. Yeah, 94, I started struggling. Were you alive then? Probably not.
No.
Dang.
Guess what year I was born?
2012.
2012 is wild. I'd be like 13 years old. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mic Check. I'm Jack, and I'm here with Chiv. And today, look, we got new mugs. We finally got the mugs. Shout out to my grandma. You know, always big supporter. Shout out to the whole family that is supporting the Mic Check. Even Chiv's family supporting the Mic Check, watching. Shout out, even my dad got me the sweater. Oh, really? Fuck yeah, true. So shout out to them. And I wanted to ask Chiv though, before we introduce our guest, he just came from the Stranger Things finale. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of things online that this was a piece of shit. People are saying, yeah, people are garbage. You think it's good?
I think so. Here's the thing. I've noticed, I said this before this episode came out too. Since Game of Thrones, everybody wants every finale to be horrible, of a show. Since Game of Thrones, are like every show that's ending, people are like, they're gonna Game of Thrones it. It's gonna be a bad ending. It's gonna ruin the whole show. And so they kind of like just really want to believe that and not be wrong. But the finale was really good. The episode before it got a lot of hate. The episode 7, the bridge, and I get that. That makes a little bit more sense. But this, no, they tied up everything, I think, really well. It looked really good.
I think you're glazing.
Nah, I mean, most of the cast still can't act. Don't get me wrong, but what are you gonna do?
No, well, there goes our chances of having any of them on here, I guess now. But no, I mean, I was talking to my cousin about this, and I said that I'm gonna talk to you right after you view it.
Yeah.
And she told me if you like it, then you're a bot.
No, bro.
So she thinks you're a bot, I guess.
She don't know. It was a good resolution for everything. I can't think. They tied up every loose end.
I heard it was worse than Game of Thrones. People said.
I don't know. I didn't see Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty bad ending.
I know. I've heard. I mean, universally, I've never heard anybody who likes the Game of Thrones ending.
Yeah, it was a terrible ending, and I don't know what is up with the psychology of these shows. They're at the end and then they just like overthink.
But the thing is that I don't think it happened with Stranger Things. This season wasn't great though. But the biggest thing honestly about Stranger Things is that like the first season is the best, definitely, because the story just went in such a certain way where there's a lot of charm that they had in the first season that you just had to drop after that in order for the story to continue. But they did a good job with it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, now I got it. Like I said, I haven't watched Stranger Things since season 1 and 2. So I'm trying to catch up, get in the loop so I can know what the whole fuss is about. Is it a bad finale? Is it good? I want to complain. I'm getting FOMO.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great finale. I think they tied up everything really well. And I think that they didn't waste a lot of time for something that's 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's TV show episodes, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah. They really didn't waste any time. But I don't want to delay our guests any further.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
let us know what you thought about the Stranger Things finale. Fellow bots.
Shiv will argue with you in the comment section below and explain why it's the greatest finale of all time.
All right, I won't say it.
Perfect way to end, guys. Right. Let's introduce our guest, shall we? Because this guest I'm really excited about. We talked about it a few weeks ago. We said, look, we're expanding from artists 2026. As soon as 2026 hits, you're going to see January large. Yeah, and this is New Year. This is the brand new year, first day of the new year. I mean, now it'll be a couple weeks into the new year, but, you know, first day of the new year, and we had an interview. Well, this is probably what I'm most excited because I was like, yo, I got so many questions. The questions just write themselves. We finally have a comedian on, guys. Marcus Monroe. Give it up. Happy New Year, fellas. Yes, shout out to you.
Great to be here.
I gotta say, speaking of my dad actually said that he's seen you before.
Oh, really?
It's your stuff. Well,
Dad's like me.
Yeah, so he told me, it was like, I was like, yo, there's a comedian on. I know he likes a lot of comedians. I was like, yo, you know this guy? And he was like, yo, I think I've seen him. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, I love that.
Shout out.
That's great. Shout out to Jack's dad.
Yes, shout out. Yo, he'll definitely be ecstatic, honestly.
Cool. I love that.
But obviously, like, you're a comedian in New York. this is exciting to us because we've never had a comedian before. So I could finally ask you without, repeating, like, what is it like to be a comedian in New York City?
Yeah.
Like, what is that actually like? Because I'd imagine it's a grind.
It's a grind, but it's the greatest place in the world to be a comedian because you have so many opportunities to get up every single night and do comedy. You get instant reactions from the crowd when you're a comedian. When you're making a movie, when you're making Stranger Things, you have to wait till the finale plays to get reaction from people, right? You write it, you film it, you do all the color grading, you edit it, and then you have to wait like a couple months, and it finally plays, and then people call you a bot if you like it. But if you're a comic, you write that day, you go to a show that night, you say the words, and you instantly know if people are gonna like it or not like it. So that's like a great thing because when you're trying to build time, everyone's like, oh, I want to work on a new hour. You gotta write it, and it has to come from somewhere. So you write the jokes and you know exactly what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. That same night, which is great. But the thing is, sometimes you have more than one show in New York in one night. Most times you do if you're in the city, and a new joke will work one show. The second show it doesn't work. The third show it does work, and then you have to figure out, wait, why didn't it work in the second show? But that's also such a great thing about living in New York. You have all these opportunities to get up and practice. And when you're a comic, stage time is so valuable. It's like the number one thing you want is to get up and practice and do it. So that's why when you see me in New York at night, I'm going from club to club, from bar show to the Comedy Cellar to someone's apartment. Where I'll do shows anywhere. I just want to just get better.
Dude, I was about to say that. Like, you are quite a hustler, bro. I feel all the time you're at this club, you're at this club. And even so, like, I saw last week, I saw you post, like, you're going to be in another state. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, yo, is this guy still coming in? That's our podcast here. Like, I was getting a little nervous. I'm, like, seeing you're flying all this. But no, you're just, look, you're out here.
I had 11 flights in 8 days last week. I was in, like, 7 different states. I did a show. I had at least one flight every day. I don't remember how many shows I did. Probably, like, 12 shows. Because some comedy clubs, you do, like, 2 to 3 shows in a night.
Mm-hmm. What's the best, like, airline?
The best, well, I'm banned on Delta.
Why?
Put me on the no-fly list.
What?
Or I made a TikTok during the pandemic of me grilling a steak in their bathroom during a flight. I don't know if you saw the video. It was super. It got like 50 million views, and then they called me actually, and they told me they put me on the no-fly list because of this video.
What?
Yeah, pretty. So but I was flying Delta all the time. Like, I'm getting upgraded. I was like platinum, diamond, queen status. And now I fly on American Airlines mostly now. American, United, a little bit of JetBlue here and there.
Nah,
but yeah.
I mean, that is crazy. And how do you even cook on the airplane? Like,
Well, it wasn't real. It was fake, and it looked so real. Imagine that though. Like, you do a magic trick on an airplane, and then they ban you for it, even though everyone knows it's not real.
bro, that's like crazy. Like a fun police or something.
Yeah, what the hell? And I thought Delta had a sense of humor. You ever sit on their plane to see their safety videos? Like, they're funny.
Yeah.
And I wasn't putting anyone's life in danger. There was no fire on the plane. It was all just like special effects, but it did look really good. I'm pretty good at my videos, so it looked good. So they put me on the no-fly list, thinking I really grilled a steak in the bathroom of their airplane, which I didn't. But Delta, if you're watching, please have me back, because American's great, but like, I would love to fly direct to most places.
Delta, bring him back.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I made a mistake.
It was just a joke.
Thank you.
These guys are like the comedy fun police. What the hell?
I know, and this was like 6 years ago now. It's 2026. It was 6.
Yeah.
I did in 2020. Let me on the plane. I've flown 1 million miles on American Airlines. I haven't had one issue. You think I could fly in Delta? I'm not.
Dude, I don't know. These companies are really charged. Like, I've been banned from places.
Where have you been banned?
Not banned from like necessarily places, but like apps. And it's like,
You've been banned from apps?
mm-hmm.
From what do you do that you've been banned from?
Well, look, a few times maybe, enter a little coupon code a couple extra times, you know what I mean?
They'll ban you for that?
Yeah, true. It's facts. Well, because I was doing it a little bit unethically, like I was making some other accounts, taking the rate. I was all
that's
And I got passive first mail from CVS, that one CVS.
No, that was Walgreens.
Or Walgreens.
That was Walgreens. But what happened was, I mean, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'll just go ahead and say this, that basically this was a long time ago, right? That I was in high school and I made the decision that I should steal something, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I stole, like, there was just little candies here and there. And this was like, I was a probably freshman year or so, like that. And I kept taking things. And one day it was like literally like, I don't even know why I was taking this. I had the money. It was like a $1 popcorn microwavable thing. I just grabbed it. And then I get stopped and they're like, oh, you got something in your pocket? And I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot to pay for it. And they were like, oh, are you sure about that? And then they pull up a tablet and I swear to God, it is 50 pictures of me like stealing, dude. And they're like, if you ever come back here, we're calling the police.
They were waiting for you.
Yeah. They were waiting. Stop by. You said I forgot to pay for it. It's like,
Yeah, I forgot. Well, I forgot to pay for a lot of things.
Yeah, and my dad, oh, are you sure about that? I was like, yep, I'm
Are you sure about that?
I've gone there since though, so
Oh, yeah. It's early. Have you stolen again from?
yeah. I've not stolen again from them.
I don't like. I mean, I think when I was younger, I was more like a bigger klepto than I am now. I can't remember the last time I stole
I
something.
mean, I think when you get to a certain age, you kind of
Yeah, true.
You can't steal at your age. Like,
Yeah,
you get older,
you're
it's
right.
like, all right, now
It is
we're-
fun though.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a little rush. You kind of feel like a bad
Well,
boy.
that's why you took popcorn, $1 popcorn.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, you can't resist a good deal.
It depends who you're stealing from. You know what I mean? No, if you're stealing from like a mom and pop shop,
Oh, yeah.
you're a piece of shit. But if you're stealing from like a CVS or like a Walgreens, CVS I kind of like because they don't sell cigarettes there. You know, I think cigarettes are probably bad.
Yo, I love cigarettes.
You like cigarettes? See, but you will admit that they're bad for you. You know,
Terrible for
yeah.
you.
And so CVS is a pharmacy, but they don't like, but they stopped selling cigarettes, which is kind of good because like, why are you selling cigarettes in a pharmacy?
I remember
Yeah.
when they stopped selling
Yeah,
cigarettes.
so that's why I like. Okay, CVS maybe has a little bit of morals, maybe, but I mean, I would still steal
Well, secrets, I just don't like that they lock up everything.
because the people like you are stealing. Fun, brother. Why do you think? Yeah. You're like, I can't. You haven't stolen anymore because they locked everything up.
I locked everything up because I really wanted to steal some stuff.
That's true, I guess. But still, it's annoying how you press the button. You gotta wait like 10 minutes for these guys to come over.
I hate is when you press the button in certain ones. I don't think it's all of them, but you press the button and it like does an announcement in the whole store.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking like,
I know, dude. Especially if you're getting something embarrassing.
that's what I'm saying.
That's why Amazon is thriving so much, because people are embarrassed to hit the deodorant button at a CVS. You know, like, I hear you, bro. And it's so much easier too, just to like click a button and then have it show up at your house the next day too. I mean, I don't like Amazon. They're evil. But we're all evil. And
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I mean, I use them every single day. It's not good.
It's so hard now to like escape the evil company. You can't all doing shady.
If you're gonna do it, you need money. That's the is that independent places are much more expensive and way less convenient. And if you have that money, then yeah, it's worth it to not give in to the companies. But like at a certain point, you know, you need cheaper things. You can't, you know.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. When you're trying to do things like the right way, it's like usually more money.
it's more money. So if if you have a lot of money, then yeah, sure, you could consume more ethically, I guess. But if without a lot more money, you're kind of doomed.
Mm-hmm.
So just have to keep ordering from Amazon.
Yeah. You celebrate Christmas at all, or
I did celebrate Christmas. I went to Wisconsin back with my fam. This is my family.
shout out, because
Shout out to my fam.
I was gonna ask you, when you go your Christmas shopping, are you all Amazon or are you in person?
No, I let my wife do most of it.
Yeah.
She enjoys finding a good deal. So when it's time to buy presents, she'll take responsibility and I'll like buy my brother's gifts, but they'll send me what they want. So I'll just like click a link and buy it. But no, I don't go to like a store and like look for things.
No, I know, me neither. I hate that. Like,
Yeah.
I buy your Christmas gift at the store.
no way. That Chiv got me Apple TV and shit.
Oh, nice.
So I still gotta give him his gift.
Yeah,
What'd you get him?
it to me.
I don't know. I had candy.
You got him something? You did him something?
It's a juicy gift. It's
Is it really? You're just whispering if I hear what you got. Tell me. Don't listen. All right. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna like that.
Yeah, he said that you're down, but I like it, bro. Yeah.
You're gonna like it a lot. It's a good, thoughtful gift.
I'm excited.
Yeah. He is. I mean, I won't say too much. I don't want to give it away. So
Don't give it away.
now. But yeah, no. I agree with you on the whole online shit. You know what I'm saying? I love online and all that, and I love your online videos.
Thank you.
And I heard to talk about your Subway video. Oreos, ask anything. I got a lot of questions because also I've seen a lot of I I'm gonna talk about this later, but I keep thinking about this. The juggling videos.
Oh yeah, you've seen that?
Yeah.
Wow, you've been digging deep.
No, the juggling is insane.
Thank you, bro.
That is insane. I mean, I should just talk about it now because
We can, yeah.
it's just in the forefront of my mind this whole time.
Chronologically, it started with the juggling.
Yeah.
So
Doing it right. Where like I can't even juggle to save my life. So
Sure.
how did you even start juggling?
man, I started juggling when I was like 9. I think I got a book on how to do it because this was before YouTube. You know, I was not. This was like, God, I'm gonna really give away my age, but it was like 1993 or something, like 94. Yeah, 94. I started juggling. Were you alive then? Probably not.
No.
Dang. And
Guess what year I was born?
2012.
2012 is wild. I'd be like 13 years old.
What the hell are you?
I'm 2003. So
No, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, what you did?
How old do you think? What about him?
Oh, wait, what did? Well,
I won't say no. Just guess based on horror appearance.
I'm gonna say 2001.
No, that's more accurate than me, right?
Sorry, so you have a baby face. You know,
I'd be concerned if this grown man was doing a podcast.
I was born to
brother. I apologize. I don't know. I'm just waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started juggling from a book, and I was doing like balls, rings, and clubs, scarves. I was like really funny with it, and I would put myself at like parties, like birthday parties in the neighborhood. Then I would like my dad would drive, my mom, whoever, or like we drive an hour. I go do like a parade, and juggle in the parade. And I'd make like $25 an hour, and for me, like that was pretty good. At like we're talking 30 years ago.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's like $70 an hour now or something. That's like pretty good money. And then when I was 9, 10, 11 years old making money like that, so I was like pretty good. Didn't have to work at like Best Buy.
Yeah, so you had a new bike.
I had a new dude. I would take that money that I would make, and I would buy new like juggling props with things. That stuff was so expensive, and I loved having new stuff. And then I'd save the rest of it. Like my dad made me put it in the bank, which I'm glad he did. Because as I got older, I started street performing at like festivals in Milwaukee, but where I grew up. But I was like kind of like a little punk kid. I loved doing like fire and knives, and like I would like take fireworks to my head and ride tall unicycles. It'd be like an extreme juggling show. And then I was like so young that people were like, what is this kid doing to himself? People would give me so much money after the show. You know, I'd ask for like, hey, if you have $1 or $2, like, thank you for the support. And then people would just, I'd make like $1,000 a day just on tips. And it was all cash, a lot of change, but it all added up. And so I would do that like, you know, for like 11 days in a row in the summer, make a bag, make like 10 grand, maybe 8, you know, depending on
What the hell?
you know. And then but I was like, I was in high school making this money, you know, and I make all my money for the summer in like a week or two. And then I put that money, and that's what paid my college, was like street performing. I lived in New York, and I paid up that's how I paid my way through college. I have no student loans because I would just juggled.
What?
Yeah. Wow. But then it got me on like TV too. Like I was on like MTV, which just I think ended yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I was on.
I saw you and Neil Patrick Harris too.
Yeah, I met a lot of cool people. Neil Patrick Harris and I performed together. Reggie Watts, a lot of Amy Schumer, a lot like all the comics I performed with.
Is there like a favorite out of those like that you work with?
Yeah, I mean, Neil obviously is like such a legend, and working with him was really cool, and we just improvised really well together on stage, which was like really, really fun because he's such a master at everything he does. But I mean, if we're talking about strictly juggling stuff, yeah, working with him, I worked with a couple cool bands.
Yeah.
I got to open for like Talib Kweli and Amy Mann, Gavin DeGraw, Hanson. I'm kind of aging myself again, but yeah, it was all kind of fun, like pop stars, rock stars, Cake, the band Cake.
Yeah.
You guys know?
Yeah, of course, Cake. Yeah.
Okay. In fact, this is a good story because 20 years ago to the day, on New Year's Eve, I was booked to open for Cake. They're a huge rock band. It was at this theater. It was like 3,000 or 4,000 people at this theater in Wisconsin, where I'm from. And I bought a 12-foot tall unicycle. And so I put fireworks on my head, and then I juggled a prop I invented called a norch, which was a knife and a torch taped together. And so I go up on this ladder. I tell everyone what I'm gonna do with the audience. They're like, "What are you doing? You're crazy!" And I climb up this ladder. I get on this unicycle. I light my torches. So I have 3 torches, or knives and torches, like taped together. And then I light the firework. And then I start unicycling off and juggling. Everyone's going crazy in the audience. I'm going crazy. I'm like, I can't believe I did it. Didn't drop a thing. And I was like, you know, when you're juggling on a tall unicycle with fire knives, just don't want to drop anything. And then the plan was for me to go back to the ladder that I got on the unicycle with to like shimmy down and take my bow. But I was so impulsive. I still am like an impulsive performer. So I jumped off the unicycle. Like that's 12 feet.
Yeah.
Fell. And then I broke both my feet when I hit the stage. Boom. I got up, start dancing around. And I go, oh no. And I could feel my feet just like give way and crunch, 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 you know? So then I like collapsed backstage. I put my feet in a bowl of ice in my dressing room and I just sit there like, ah. And then I couldn't walk like for like 6 weeks.
Oh my.
Bro,
Yeah.
like that is just
Wild, dude. I was like,
I'm like shocked here.
it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube.
I don't think I want to watch it.
You don't really know. You don't really know that I broke my feet until like, unless you hear me talk about it, because the video cuts off after I like start dancing around a bit.
Yeah, it's like,
What goes through your head when you're falling 12 feet?
It happened so quickly. Didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, I was kind of thinking like this is probably not the best idea, you know. But in the moment, it was the right choice. Does that make sense? Because when you're a performer, you have like everything you do is a choice. And if you're going off the audience, which is what a good performer does, you know, they're self-aware enough to know like different things. If something in the room changes, someone drops a glass, you know, you're aware of what's going on. I was aware that if I went back to the ladder, shimmy down, it would have killed the vibe. You know what I mean? It would have just been like, oh, okay, hold on, we can't really clap yet. But if I'm just like, hey guys, whoa, and I jump down, it was like, yeah, you know, like it's more part of, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And also people were curious, how is he gonna get down?
and would you say like you were like, do you regret it or is it just totally worth it?
Totally worth it.
That's crazy.
Do regret it only because I couldn't walk for a while. And I haven't ridden that unicycle since then. I've tried to sell it and no one will buy it from me.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you on the unicycle, man.
Yeah.
You got some mean unicycle.
Thanks, bro. So right now, if I ever ride one, it's 7 feet tall, but still puts my head like at 10 feet.
Yeah.
But my where my butt is sitting is 7 feet. So I sit there sometimes, and I did that. Like I rode around Central Park on my unicycle. I think I was the first person to ever ride a unicycle around the lap of Central Park. And every mile I took an edible.
Yeah, I saw that video as well. I was gonna ask you, is that real? Like real? You really did this for a video that you ate an edible an hour, like
Dude, any excuse I can get myself to eat an edible and make content, I will do it.
that. You look like you were dying, man.
Yeah,
Literally.
it was terrible.
Like,
Well, so 1 year I did it and I didn't complete it. 4 miles in, I couldn't feel like my balls, my legs. I was dressed as Evel Knievel. I was like hot in the costume. It didn't breathe well. And then so in this last summer, I did it again and I took 100 milligrams right up top. And I said, okay, now the goal is instead of taking an edible every mile, take all of them now and then try to race the clock and beat it before the edibles hit in for like a big kick.
Yeah.
But it took me maybe like 2 hours to complete it. And about 45 minutes to an hour in, I was starting to feel the edibles. So you can clearly see in this video me like kind of like I did it. I accomplished it. I did the unicycle around the park, but it took forever. It hurt so bad and I was not feeling good.
Yeah, like I can't believe like there's like you do these Subway videos and they're so successful and then you're just like, you know what, let me go torture myself though.
I like to switch it up because I love endurance stunts. Like I love stuff like that. I love, I grew up watching David Blaine, that magician, like do crazy stuff. And I love that stuff. And I can't do what he does, but I can do my version of it. So that's kind of like what I was trying to do. I also did one where I tried to run a marathon without any training, and every mile I took an edible. I made it 16 miles.
Yeah, I think that was the one I saw without training.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That's pretty good.
Even just running, period, without training is difficult. And then doing it
hard. It is hard, yeah. Like the edibles actually kind of make it easier, I think. I mean, not easier, but if you get pretty high, you're not really thinking about like, oh, my body hurts. You're thinking, oh, what am I gonna eat after this? You know, which is like pretty fun to think
Yeah,
about.
like 16 miles. That's impressive.
16 is not bad. That's 16 is not bad. I was really happy with it. Yeah.
I couldn't even do that sober right now.
Hey, well, I couldn't either. To be honest, I couldn't do that right now either.
But obviously, like I just did talk about your Subway videos. Like those are popping. And those I love those videos. Right. Hey, for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna maybe explain in my words, and you could fix it up here. But basically, you go onto the Subway and you go dressed up as something, whether it be like cheese, whether it be like a boxer, whatever face is, and you make these jokes as if kind of like you're that thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So you want to explain to me?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it. I make the jokes as if I'm that person trying to do stand-up in the Subway. So the jokes are about like being a boxer or being, a cat or whatever it is. And it's fun for me to do because it's a good writing like exercise to write as different people. It's also fun to find the costumes and try to. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to like having good costumes. I try to like not do like the inflatable ones. I try to make them look as good as possible. Like, oh, he spent some money on his costumes, And I probably spend too much money on the costumes. So these videos don't make me any money. You know what I mean?
You do go full out on these costumes. Like I saw your Ronald McDonald. Yeah. Saying like being on the Subway, like with all that makeup, like sour now.
The worst one was probably the knight. I did a knight in armor. I don't know if you saw that one, but it was like $600 just for the armor. And then I gotta pay my video guy a couple $100. So it was like cost over $1,000 for that one video to make.
Have you ever thought of like returning the costume? Like,
yeah, dude, I was doing that, but then Amazon got wise to me and they took away my returns.
No.
Yeah, I can't return anything on Amazon right now, brother. It sucks. So I'm just like, I'm really hoping, like, honestly, if there's a costume company watching, please, like, support your boy.
You should.
I actually I would love a sponsor because, like, yeah, you're right. The views, like, are pretty good from, most of the videos do pretty well. Not all of them, which is okay. But it's, it's fun to have videos that don't do that well, because then when you do have a video that pops off, it's like, all right, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, like Spirit Halloween collab.
Spirit would be good. Like there's this one company I use a lot. I think they're called like Fun Costumes or Halloween Costumes Fun. Fun, I know fun's in the name.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of weird, interesting costumes that I've been using a lot of recently. So if they want to sponsor me, I will take their sponsor.
Well, now we just gave them a shout out, so now they're like, why do we need a sponsor? Huh? We shouldn't have said the name. Hey, but you didn't say it, right? Yeah. I don't even know their names.
Yeah, but they have good and their yeah.
So I want to ask this because like I've been on the Subway as just a normal person. Has anybody ever like just come up to you like a crackhead come up to you like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, dude. And for the first year and a half, no issues at all. Then like lately, within like the last like 6 months, it's been hell. Like this, I did Columbus. I dressed up as Columbus for Columbus Day. And we all grew up with the story of Columbus thinking he was like some hero. And then like later on in life, you realize, oh no, we were lied to, right? So the jokes were all anti-Columbus, but I'm dressed as Columbus, but I'm very pro like indigenous.
Yeah.
Like, But I made a joke about indigenous people, but they were not the victim of the joke. I'm not punching down, it was all empowering. But a guy on the train heard me say something about indigenous people dressed as Columbus a couple days before Columbus Day. He got really upset. He said he was indigenous. I don't know if he was or not. Didn't look at me, but I'm not here to judge. And he said he wanted to he's like, says me again, I'll like punch you in the face, and I'm still going. Yeah, I'm not gonna, some guy threatening me, he's not gonna make me stop. And yeah, we got really heated in that train. Thankfully, my guy was still filming, but I left all that in the video.
Yeah.
So Columbus Day. Another guy wanted me not to film his daughter. Now she was facing the other direction, wasn't even a camera pointed at her. And he tried to tell me the Subway wasn't public. I'm like, it's literally public transit.
Yeah.
Public, dude. I can film in here. And then another guy, not this filming day, or not this week, last a couple weeks ago we filmed. This guy just attached himself onto my camera guy. My camera guy's built like this. He just and starts cursing at him and holding him, kicking him when he was leaving. It was we've had some weird people, but only really 3 to 4 weirdos within, like, I've done 93 or 92 or 93, I think 92 now, videos, like, characters on the subway. So the only really is, well, really, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did like how many times do you like film these videos, and also like are you doing it on like one train where all these weirdos are, or is it just like
Yeah.
wherever?
Okay, so I usually start on the Q because I live right by the Q train. So I'll start there, go downtown, and then I'll probably get off around 42nd Street, then ride back uptown. Not always on the Q. Sometimes I'll switch it to the F, the M, the NRW, the ABC, the 1, 2, 3. I try to get a good mix because you get a lot of different people riding different trains. And so it's fun to get, just say, yeah, let's see what happens if you take this train. You never know. But yes, I don't take this. I don't really like publicize where and when I'm going to be doing it too, because I don't know when and where I'm going to go. The train schedule barely works half the time anyway. So I'm like, I'll be on the Q train right now. But if the Q doesn't come and I see another train, I'm going to get on the other train, because when I film, what people don't know is I film only like 2 or 3 days a month. And I do 3 characters in a day. So I'll film, so I film one character, takes about an hour, go back to my apartment, change, get on a new outfit, get the jokes ready, go out again. And I do that 3 times. It takes, this last time I did 3 characters. I did Abe Lincoln, I did Humpty Dumpty, and then I did a firefighter. And we filmed at 12:15. We were done by 2:30. So we try to film in the middle of the day as well, just because I don't want to get anyone's, like, rush hour would be terrible. We've all like been on a crowded train, and then someone tries to perform. You're like, no, read the room, man. You know, it's too crowded in here. Everyone just got off work. We're tired. Let's stop. So that's why I try to do it during the day when people are probably like less likely to be like stressed from a long day at work.
That's good, honestly, picking a good time where your audience is.
Totally. And also I work at night, so like I can't like, I do comedy, like real comedy shows at night, so I can't like sacrifice a night just to film on the subway.
And I want to ask you about your comedy, because I'm curious, like, for myself, I always say, like, I think that must be one of the scariest things to do. Up there, because it's like you said in the beginning, it's like, right then and there, if you're a shit, okay, you're gonna find out. Truth is there. So like, do you fear bombing, or is that just kind of like part of the job?
I don't fear it. It's part of the job, and you learn so much from a bomb. Why didn't it work? Well, you said you didn't. You came on stage with a weird attitude, or you said something that didn't work right, or you said something in the wrong way. I've been doing comedy for a long time, and if you've been doing it for as long as I have, if you write a joke, you think it should be funny, you take it on stage, it's not funny, you gotta look at why it wasn't funny. And so if you think it should be, you know what I mean? So there's tons of reasons why it couldn't be funny, or it's not funny. Usually it's the way you have it written, or the confidence you didn't have the confidence when you said the joke. Because an audience, they know. Right? If you're seeing a comic on stage, you're like, I don't think he's believing what he's saying. You can smell it.
I believe that. Yeah.
Right?
And no, I think for sure.
Yeah. And if a comic is like, I'm probably talking way too fast on this podcast, but if a comic is on stage talking too fast, it kind of means he's not like prepared. I think, or he or she, it means they're not confident in the words they're saying because they just want to get it out and see if it works. Does that make sense?
No.
So I think it's just like your pacing. You find the rhythm of the joke. But a lot of times I'll bomb with a joke 10 times before I start finding the laughs and finding the funny parts of it. So it's all part of the process. So when you see a comic that bombs, especially in New York, if he or she's just doing a spot, it doesn't mean they're a shitty comic. It means that they're trying to find the funny in the joke, and the only way to really learn is by failing at it. A lot of times, sometimes I'll write a joke and it's funny right away, and I'm like, oh, this is great, that's the best feeling in the world when a new joke works. Oh my god, because that's currency. As a comedian, that's how you make your money. So if you write more jokes like that work, like you'll be okay. But if you can't write a funny joke, no one's gonna book you to perform anywhere. Like, you really need to have it. You need to bring it, or else like you're gonna be unemployed.
Yeah. And also, because you said like you do comedy like literally like every night.
Yeah.
Do you repeat the same jokes? Are they all your jokes every night, or what?
That's a great question. I have like jokes that are tried and true, which are like jokes I've been doing for like 8 years, that are good introduction jokes to me. Like, if you don't know who I am, the good, like, if you're in New York, the quick, fast, like, one-liners kind of tells you a little bit about me. And then I have like a part of my set where I can get a little bit more creative and try new things. Then you always want to end strong. So I try to write or save the newer stuff for like the middle of the set. So I start strong, bomb in the middle, then end strong, you know, and I'm not necessarily bombing, but I'm just workshopping stuff.
Yeah.
And when you have those stuff that starts working, then you move that to the front. I like to do new stuff up top. It just feels good for some reason. And then end with old stuff. For me, it's what I like to do. But it's so hard. Like, it's so hard to write new material. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. Oh, just write a new hour. Well, a new hour could take 10 years for some people.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say your first, like, I haven't released the special yet. I've been approached by a lot of people to do it. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. I've been doing comedy, like stand-up comedy since 2018, where I'm just not doing juggling, just like no props, just me doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And dude, it's so hard to like come up with new material, especially new material that's just as good as the stuff that's you've been doing it for a long time. You know, so you want it all to be the same level of funny too.
Yeah.
You don't want to write the joke and it gets a little laugh, then put that in the set and be like, I'm good. It gets a little laugh, so I do it.
Yeah.
No, you want a joke that it gets a big laugh and keep that in the set.
Honestly, I think you're ready, bro. I think you're funny as shit.
I appreciate you, bro. I think I'm thinking this year and next year is gonna be the year. I'm really thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess like for specials, like I've seen some specials, like, and I guess like do they necessarily have to be revolving around a theme? Because I like the ones that kind of like they're like around a theme. Like I've seen some guys like, oh, that they just enter into fatherhood, for example.
Yeah, I love that too. I love a good narrative in a special. I love like a one-man show. You know, I love like a good storyteller. So I think I'm a sucker for that. I would if I so I did a show. I wrote a new show for the New York Comedy Festival 2 years ago called Things I Did Wrong. And because I looked at all my stories in my stand-up, and it's all about opportunities I had that I messed up on or things I did incorrectly, but I somehow like breaking my feet and like opening for cake, like getting on the no-fly list, you know, all these things where I seem to mess up. That's where the funny is. So that's why I called my show Things I Did Wrong. So yeah, that's kind of like a theme in that show. I only did it one time, but I'm thinking about bringing it back this year because I have like a string of headlining gigs that I want to kind of create a narrative for. That one's already kind of done, so I might do that.
Yeah, but also just because I'm curious about the special stuff, like how does that work? Like, does it get like when these companies approach you, like I guess they put it on their own like platform? Is that what they're asking you?
Yeah. So specifically this one guy was like, "Hey, I'll pay you or whatever it was," and then just to record the special, but he was gonna produce everything. So he was gonna find the you know the cameras, the lighting, the grips, you know, the sound, the people, the venue, all that stuff he was going to do. And then he was going to try to sell it to Netflix, to Hulu, to Amazon, whatever. And then I would get like a cut of that money.
Yeah.
That was the
I see. So he kind of produces it.
Exactly.
Need the talent.
But I know like different things are like Netflix will give you like $200,000 and say shoot a special in a theater because Netflix now only wants specials that are shot in like big theaters. They're like, shoot your special in this theater, and then we'll give you $200,000. But then in like 10 years or 5 years, you can have it back and you can do whatever you want with it. So that's Netflix is kind of doing that now. They used to just give you like millions of dollars for a special. I think those days are gone unless you're like a Dave Chappelle, a Matt Rife, or something like that.
Yeah, no, I've seen. I think Dave Chappelle, did he come out with something new recently?
Or he had a deal. He had a multi-special deal with Netflix. Like he had 5 or something.
I don't know. I haven't found him funny in like the last like 10 years.
I don't really watch him too much. I've seen some funny clips, bro.
Yeah, hit or miss for me. But what I'll say, because we were talking about it before, is in terms of theme. Like, I think he's very good with that. He'll start and end with kind of a similar...
You're right. He does do that.
So it kind of comes full circle in his specials. That I really like. But the individual, like the middle part of it, it's hit or miss, his jokes.
Yeah. And I think a lot of what he's doing is storytelling and not specifically stand-up comedy, you know, because he's telling these stories about Saudi Arabia or you know, he, for some reason, obsessed with, like, trans people. As you're talking a lot about that. A lot of it is like, you gotta look for like the laughs per minute. And a lot of times there's a long stretches where he's just rambling and talking and there's not a joke. You know, I'm not one to critique Dave Chappelle, but you know, if he's, I love the Dave Chappelle that has like tons of jokes in each bit.
I feel like the whole trans thing is like the boomers. They're like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm trying to like, I'm different. I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? It's just like so desperate. It's like,
Yeah, it's
who
a
cares,
little,
you know?
yeah, exactly. It's a little weird to, like, if you know, yeah, it's just a weird thing to be obsessed about.
It's just like forced relatability.
Yeah, it doesn't affect their forced relatability. It's
It's like Zar's relatability. Like he wants people to then be like, he's saying exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't affect his life at all when
No,
you know people are if trans people exist or not. So I just don't understand. But I didn't watch his full new special. I watched like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, okay, I think I get it. So I can't really comment on like the new special he did.
But yeah. I'm not even sure if it was so new, but I saw like something pop up or whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty new, like in the last week or two.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah, I don't know what this is coming out, but from where we are now, yeah, it was like
about
300 weeks ago. Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying so. But who is like because I know you mentioned right David Blaine, is that the guy? Yeah. So who else would you say is like an inspiration in comedy?
Number one is Rory Scovel. He's like my favorite comic. You guys heard of him?
No,
I've heard of him, but
He got some specials on
I feel like
Netflix.
watched a lot of this.
Super funny, fearless on stage. He has a documentary out on YouTube where he does. He was like performing for 7 nights at the comedy club with no material. He just improvised 7 shows, and it was so good. The documentary is fantastic. But I'm a big fan of him. But like older guys who I grew up watching, like Steve Martin, really like him. Andy Kaufman, big Kaufman fan. More modern guys, Maria Bamford, she's fantastic. Probably one of the best living comedians today. Mark Norman is really funny. I like TJ Miller, Matt Lopes, Corey B. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. The thing about living in New York, man, there's so many good comics, you know.
I was gonna say, did you do a podcast with TJ Miller or?
He's done my podcast. Yeah. I used to open for him, and we toured together for like 10 years on and off. And I learned a lot from watching him perform and I learned a lot about the business.
Yeah.
Just listening to him talk about it, because he's done everything, you know.
And on the other side of the question, is there anyone, not that is an inspiration, but you see at the clubs because you're always there, that you kind of want to give a shout to in New York right now? Smaller comedians that you.
Man, yeah. I think people should like know about Daniel Simonson. He's from Norway. He's a comic that's just so different. He's got this voice that's just, anything he says is just funny. And he's a sweet guy. We've been friends for a couple years now, and he's just so good. I was trying to think of other people to put on. Steven Rogers is really good. He opens for Nate Bargatze. So, I mean, he's playing in arenas almost every night when he opens for Nate. So maybe he doesn't need my shout out.
Shout out to him anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good comics. I mean, just the thing about New York is like people look at like the Comedy Cellar, and I perform at the Comedy Cellar, and you're going to have the best comics in New York at the Comedy Cellar for sure. But there's also so many funny comics at like these little bar shows at the Tiny Cupboard in Brooklyn. I'm just trying to at Stella and Fly. Like there's so many like shows just pop up randomly that have great comics. So like don't be afraid if you're in New York, you're listening to this and you want to see good comedy. Yeah, there's shows everywhere that have great comics. You don't have to go to like the main clubs.
Yeah.
Those clubs are gonna do well no matter what. But
you don't got to go to MSG too, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Gotta go to the biggest.
Exactly. Yes. You support those independent shows, those like alternative shows in Brooklyn. Littlefield is a great venue that has good comedy. The Gramercy Theater, I'll be there in January. It's a good room for comedy. Tons of play. I mean, the Gramercy is a 400-person theater, but still, it's a good room.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you where it was good to check out, but yeah, I'm gonna check out those places.
Yeah, the Cellar, New York Comedy Club. I do a show every Wednesday night at the New York Comedy Club at 7:00, and I just book like my friends who I think are the funniest people to do that show. So it's like personally curated by me and my buddies Corey and Matt.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What do you think about this guy Matt Rife? Because he's like, you were talking about him, but he's like, I feel like some people either love him, hate him. I see in the
Yeah, I have no problem with him. I don't know him. My buddy Matt opens for him from time to time, and he thinks he's a good guy, so I trust Matt. So, anyone who pops off and is a good looking guy, he's gonna get a lot of hate, real quickly. I think people obviously get a little jealous of someone's success, and of course I get jealous too of other people. I'm like, oh, why does he get that? I want that. But then you have to realize comedy is such an independent sport. You know, you're only as good as the time you put into it. So if you're upset that he's getting that, maybe sit down for an extra hour, do some extra writing, or like focus that energy on something else. Focusing that energy and just being mad that someone else is getting theirs he's not taking away anything from you. You know what I mean? He's not taking bags away from your bank account.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are upset because I saw a lot of people criticizing like that, like traditional comedians, like, oh, that he got in through TikTok, you know.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
that even focuses on
People say that, but like back in the day, to pop off, you had to do the Tonight Show. Well, you can do the Tonight Show now, and 50,000 people will watch it. That's nothing to me. I can post a video on Instagram. It'll get it'll get 50,000 views. You know what I mean? So the times have changed. Like the way to be seen by people isn't just the Tonight Show anymore. You know what I mean? You can just post a funny video, and people like that. And if people like your content, I don't think that's cheating, right? Yeah, I don't think,
And to add on to that, to say that he's not doing it in the traditional way is also weird, because similar to how you talk about your life, and I've heard other comics say this as well, and him, they're always working. You're always, I took 11 flights last week. It's always like, I haven't been home in 200 days.
Dude, you're so right. I mean, I make so many sacrifices. Like my wife and I barely see each other now because I'm on the road so much. You know, I was home in December, only 8 days, the entire month. And when I'm home, I'm not just like home. I have stuff to do. I'm working, I'm filming, I'm doing podcasts, I'm filming on the subway, I'm writing jokes. So like it's a crazy time suck. I think people probably had more time before social media, when it was the days of like popping off correctly or whatever these other comedians say. Like they probably had so much more time but now comics have to be on social media, have to edit their own videos and do this whole other job and still write their comedy for stage. Because the jokes I do on the subway, I gotta make this clear, they're not the jokes I do on stage. You know what I mean? I'm not bringing like a box of costumes with me on stage. I'm like, all right, now pretend I'm a horse now. You know, like that would be retarded. I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to use that word, but it would be crazy. It would be so bad if I did that. People would want like their money back immediately. So what I try to, I don't know. That's how you do it now.
How do you like balance it though? Like with, like I said, like all of that, like with your, you have a wife, you said. Do you actually have stepchildren? You said.
Yeah, I have a stepdaughter. Yeah, she's grown though. She's older. Yeah, I mean, it is hard. You just have to figure it out. You just got to keep moving, take it a day at a time, And I just, like, when I was doing that, like, 11 flights in 8 days, I was thinking, okay, just got to make it till Sunday. Then I don't have a flight for 2 days. Just make it till Sunday. You just give yourself little, like, checkpoints, little benchmarks. Just got to make it to here. Then I can relax. That's kind of what I do, like, every single day. I'm like, okay, well, I know I have this, and this today. When I get to 9 o'clock, I'll be done with my sets, done with my work. I can just chill. Like, that's kind of like how I've been doing things.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't even seem like a long period of time. Like, just like, 2 days, like, and then you take 11 more flights.
Yeah.
I mean, some rest, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had, let's see, I got home on Sunday. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's Thursday, and tomorrow I fly out again.
Yeah. This is the holiday. 2 weeks of holidays, and then
I know, it's crazy.
That
busy.
insane.
I know, dude. Like I said, like when I saw that, I was like, damn, is he still coming in? Like,
I'm coming in, baby. I'm coming in.
This just shows his dedication. And like I said, Chiv, honestly, I think we should maybe scramble some money around, get this guy a special, and sell it to Netflix ourselves. Because you're like, I heard a lot of you took it right there, right? I'm like, are you already pretty? Yeah, backwards then. Mike Check X Marcus Monroe. I love that.
Yeah, no, it seems like such a crazy industry, because everyone says the same things that you do, that it's the schedule, like you're always working, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and like I got into entertainment because I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted just to work for myself. But now it's like I didn't want to be waking up at 4 a.m. every day, like get on the flight. Like that's the opposite of what I want. But until I get to that next level, I have to hustle like I'm doing.
But at the same time, I feel like it fits you, because like I feel like you do like that, like adrenaline, like that rush a bit.
That is true. Like that is true.
So like a little bit, right?
Dude, you read me correctly. Like I do like that. Like knowing I'm on like a little sleep is kind of fun to see if I can get through the day and like still be as productive and get stuff done. That is true.
Well, dude, like I said, absolutely like astonished by the work ethic, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm just getting started. 2026. I feel like it's gonna be our year, boy.
Yeah, for real, all of us. Hopefully, we'll end the year off with the reunion pod. Oh, and you'll get the special. Yeah, we'll celebrate our hopefully million. We should.
December. Yeah, we should do another. We should meet up on next year or like December 31st.
Yeah,
I'm down.
it is locked in. You guys will see last episode of the year.
Hopefully we don't need to handle this year. Hopefully like on our follow.
If you guys cancel, we'll still have you on though. Appreciate it. We won't listen to them up, So, and then you'll have to go join Dave Chappelle and go.
Yeah.
I have to go without your audio. All right, Sugar, you got the last question. You always ask.
And I'm glad this is a perfect transition. I thought of this question earlier, but a perfect transition. I want to know what your goal or goals are for 2026. Like if you have a set thing that you want to accomplish this year.
Yeah. So I've been featuring a lot this last year. Featuring means like I go on the road with a comedian who's more famous than me, and then I do like 20 minutes right before they do like 45 to an hour. Sometimes I've been headlining, but I want to headline more and more this year. So I'm starting off with like 3 headlining dates this January. Then I have a few scheduled coming up in other months. But I really want to, start like getting on the road, popping off on the road, and just headlining my own shows. I think that's kind of where I want to be this year. And I might start out doing like weird one-offs on some days, in like Cleveland. I might do like a Wednesday night at Cleveland or something. But like, you got to start somewhere. I'm not afraid to like slowly build the crowd. And people have been coming out. People have been buying tickets. I almost sold out a show in Chicago I have in 2 weeks.
No?
So that's pretty cool. So I can just keep doing that. I'd be a happy guy.
Yeah.
So I think just building the crowd, building the fans,
Getting the aura.
Yeah. Just want to be vibing and making good content. I think that's like the goal for 2026. I spend more time with my wife. If she's gonna watch this, she's gonna be. I probably don't say that.
Shout out to Miss Gina Monroe.
Yeah, Gina, what up, baby? You're so Mrs. Monroe. You're so formal. That is how that hot bitch, girl. What up, girl? I love that ass. I do.
Well, you talk like that, not me. I'll say hello, Mrs. Monroe. You great sick guy. Shout out for always being supportive and supporting the comedy. All right, can we do? Yeah. So that's the perfect way. That's a perfect way to end it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Jack. This is Chiv. And this is Marcus Monroe, guys.
Son of Marcus.
Go check out all the social media links and link in the description. Anything you want to plug before we go?
Follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, Marcus Monroe. Thank you very much, boys. We did it.
He's as funny on social media as he was on this podcast.
Hey.
Peace out, guys.